Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Cookies, the show about positivity, life, leadership, parenting, and tangents that usually come from you, our audience. So,
or our guest.
or
Lindsay.
Yeah. We are so thankful for our sponsor, Social Media Torch. They create content on purpose and for a purpose. Learn more about a social media or content firestorm that solves your SEO, social media, and email marketing at www.socialmediatorch.com. We have, if you haven't heard, a special guest with us today. Both Nick and they were talking, so
both Nick and they.
Nick and they. Who it was?
Go ahead and just introduce him. Go just introduce him so I get to the split screen.
Just me. It's all my multiple personalities.
Yes. Him, I, we, they, yeah. We are so excited to have on the show with us the super fantastic Gary Gregory. Hi, Gary.
Hey, good morning. You're exposing
my cheeks are hurting.
Right, you're exposing my multiple personalities before we even start.
I mean,
it's greatness.
I wanted somebody else to know that it wasn't just me with multiple personalities.
But I do want to go back to the rapping question.
Hold on. We're almost there.
Sorry.
Good morning. Welcome to the Coffee and Cookies Morning Show. My name is Nick. You've already met my co-host and our guest. Y'all have been missing out on so much laughter. We're going to get right to the split screen action real quick. And here we go. Split screen is good. We went down a direction of planning some events, right?
Yes.
So maybe some events in the future, and that went down to, let's talk about some things that we're great at. And you mentioned music, and Lindsay's like, I play the piano, and then don't believe I just did that.
Is that really what I sound like?
And then Gary's like, you play the piano, and then Lindsay goes, no, my specialty is rap.
Right?
I'm like, what's going on
Where
here?
did that come from?
That was sarcasm.
It was not sarcasm.
Sarcasm.
It was not sarcasm.
Yes, it
No,
was
it wasn't.
sarcasm.
There's always a bit of truth in sarcasm.
No.
You
It's-
really,
oh my gosh,
really,
yes.
Eminem?
Yes?
I did bust
Should we
out
call her
Eminem on
Skittles?
one of-
Skittles! Oh my goodness. Oh, that's great.
Y'all, please pray for me.
So I started this show early because
Oh
I
my
just,
goodness.
the laughter was so
man.
good and it hasn't stopped, and we're just gonna roll in today. So thank you guys for joining us, Gary Gregory. Thank you for joining us again on this show.
Thank you.
You have definitely become a staple and a favorite of this show. I know you know that, but I'm still gonna tell you.
Oh, man. Please stop. It makes me feel so good. Words of affirmation truly is my love language. So, man, I so appreciate that.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting...
Shorter than us, so I'm just...
Oh, okay. I am pretty short, so
Adjustments.
that's totally fine.
Adjustments. There you go, right?
Now,
Isn't it great when you have a whole just...
The
there you
tech team.
go. Good morning, Vic. How you doing, brother?
I feel taller already.
You feel taller. So Gary, Vic loves your Hawaiian shirt, bro.
Right?
Right.
So you know what? A lot of times people talk about dress for the job you want, right? Isn't that's
And
true?
that's-
You
Okay.
dress
So
for the
your
job that
job
you want,
is-
but wait, there's more.
Okay.
I always
Stop.
say,
He's like, stop talking, Lindsay. Okay.
wait a second. How does Nick do it? Let me finish the thought. That's how. That's
I'm almost there.
That's
I'm
a Nick
almost there.
phrase. Let me finish the thought. So, there's always that conversation about dress for the job you want. And then, you always see the memes about, there's the person in HR department dressed as Wonder Woman or Batman. But have you seen those memes?
I saw
No.
one. I saw
No?
one
No.
with a woman. Her hair, she had a pillow flattened to her head. She was walking and her hair was all...
She dressed for the job you want.
She had a blanket as her dress.
Okay, dressing for the job you want.
Dress for the job you want. And, if you want to be Batman, dress as Batman, go to work. And, you may end up in the HR department, but
Okay.
it is. So, but I also contend that you dress for where you want to be.
So you want to be in Hawaii on the beach?
So, if one of your visions or goals is to be somewhere, we all want to be somewhere, whether it's a physical location or maybe it's a mental state or a spiritual state or something like that. I contend that you should dress for where you want to be as well. So, today it's a beautiful day here in Frisco, and wouldn't it be great just to be somewhere tropical on the beach or something like that? So that's just one of the things you dress for where you want to be too.
Yeah, I like that.
So I'm thinking.
Yes.
I'm thinking.
He's thinking shirts.
I'm thinking shirts. I'm thinking, good morning, Angelina. Good morning. I'm thinking that we should do an episode at the lagoon.
Oh, see?
I think Gary Gregory would love to be part of that episode.
yes.
We could even go up top on that little
Right.
stage place.
Yep. Yes, we could. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to figure out. I could get this also mobile.
Yeah, that's
would-
like
Goodness.
we're gonna have to do that on a Monday or a Friday, so that because we're gonna have to reset everything. It's gonna be like an all-day process, people.
It is going to be an all-day process.
I'm looking at all this stuff. I can't even imagine bringing this to another location.
And you have to think, like, this is streamlined. Like, this is all iPhones and iPads. I mean, minus the mics and all this.
Oh, yeah.
Because here we go, right? If you're going to start a podcast or you're going to start a YouTube show or you're going to start anything, it's the audio. The audio has to be correct. The visuals, even on YouTube, the visuals don't have to be perfect. I've listened to plenty of speakers where the visuals, I was like, glad I'm listening to you and not looking at you, right? But if the audio's
I'm
bad,
going to minimize the screen so I don't have to see you.
right? But if the audio's bad, like you notice it.
It's a
you
miss,
notice
yeah.
it and you're just like, nope, I don't want to listen to that. And there's so many options. Good morning, Rosalie. I don't think my board shorts, hoodie, and flip flops.
See?
I was just thinking, going through my shoes, I'm like, man, maybe I should get rid of these boating shoes. But I was just telling Nick the other day,
You want to buy a
I'm
yacht?
gonna have a yacht one day.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
So I just need to wear them more often.
There you
Well, Pastor Keith says, speak it as if it were.
Yeah.
Why not dress it as if it were?
Oh, there you go.
So start wearing your boating shoes.
I'm gonna
There you
start
go.
wearing my boating
Guys,
shoes.
if you want to be snow skiing, start wearing your snow boots around.
well,
No, maybe not. Never mind. There's a limit, I guess, but
Good morning, Thomas. Good morning, Dad. So he has the thinking emoji with a thumbs up. He's trying-
Guys,
like your
wheels
dad.
turning today. Wheels are turning.
Yeah.
Turning.
Oh my goodness, that is great. So, but I mean, how often do we get so stuck in whatever grind that we're in, we forget little things like that?
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, maybe I should wear like when I did if you go back and watch Elevate Life Church
Yes.
this last weekend.
I was going to bring that up.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I had the honor of hosting online, and that was a great experience. But the whole reason why I was there was because of this man.
Oh, no.
This man. It was because of you and Scott Armendariz.
And his shirt resembles that. So go look at his shirt. And it was loud.
The
Yeah.
amazing, I made the introduction. I encouraged, I was like, Nick's going to be an amazing co-host or online host there at Elevate Life. And sure enough, I got there. I was able to watch Nick do the online hosting, and man, it was just so cool to watch him do that. And I do want to bring up, so since we're talking about my shirt, we got to bring up your shirt that you wore there at the online hosting, and that inspired me to come with this shirt today. So
Man, you didn't send him the memo. I'm sure he would have had that shirt.
I would have
ready.
easily. I would have been like, wife, we have to wash this shirt. I want to. Yep.
You, absolutely. And I really do think, the way you dress really does influence kind of your mood or your attitude. And so, a lot of people work from home, right? Mm-hmm. And so you see people, all the memes, all the fun jokes and stuff, you're just barely dressed in your pajamas. Or you wear your pajama pants or shorts or whatever while you're working from home and you got a nice top.
I just had a great idea. We need to create jammas that look like
Business suits.
business clothes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she turned into you. The visionary. And Nick was actually processing. That was incredible. That was neat to see in person.
That was like, okay, I can get this designer because no one's gonna have that print on demand right now.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go ahead and let's figure out like oh, okay, yeah. If Lindsay wants this, we can make this happen. Sure.
Yeah. Or like a sports jacket that is actually a pajama jacket, kind of like robe of sorts.
Right?
Oh
it's
my
cool
goodness,
that
it'd be
is.
so soft.
Yes.
Yep.
Y'all might be onto something. You might be onto something.
I'm telling you.
That was good. That was good.
A whole new line of
Work from home,
work
executive
Go ahead.
Career wear.
Career wear.
Nice.
Why are you always happy? Because I'm always in pajamas.
And I'm comfortable.
And I'm right.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
Done.
Comfy.
Lindsay, make that happen.
Thomas calls it comfy cookie wear.
I like it. Oh, you know what y'all should do?
There goes Thomas, just dropping out gold again.
Thomas is onto something. So you make a business jacket that has the cookie print on it.
Taking Cookie Monster to a whole new level.
Yeah, you're just kind of elevating it. You have a different. You guys are creating a wardrobe line. That you've got your own online shop. That was a good idea.
I like this idea.
I think you also need to have that jacket that's full of coffee beans.
You get a
I know Nick
whole
would wear it.
wardrobe. Coffee theme, cookie theme.
There you go. Why not? Disney's going downhill. Let's just open up the Coffee and Cookies, amusement park and just take on Disney.
Everyone's caffeinated and sugared up.
There you go. There you go. Every ride, you could have coffee and cookies.
Yes.
That would actually work.
Amusement park.
That would actually work.
To have the insurance person say that's a huge liability. So
No, all you do is just go buy Disney or Universal Studios or Six Flags, because Six Flags is not getting it done anymore. And just
coffee go rounds.
The coffee go. The little spinning instead of the teacups are coffee cups. This could actually work.
I think we need to bring Thomas in on this project. He's got some really great ideas.
Thomas, I'm just gonna hire you as the project manager.
The cookie
You just
bumper
make
cars.
it there.
Oh. Or toss the chocolate chip into the cookie. All
Right.
these carnival games you could do as well.
Right.
We could do this.
Yeah.
This
Go fishing in your fishing for coffee.
in your little coffee cups and you get it.
Yeah.
And oh my god. Here's the thing though, right? It's such a great idea. It's so much fun. It would actually work. It's so different.
So weird.
People would be
like
like,
it.
It's so weird.
That's so weird. I love it.
Yes. Hey, let's go to the Coffee and Cookies amusement park. Why? 1, they have amazing coffee. 2, they have tons of cookies. And 3, the kids get to go play bumper cars.
Yes.
Right? We get to get this would be a whole new level of amusement park for kids. And Thomas is going to run it.
I think we should have a coffee tasting shot option where you get a platter of all these different types of
like a
coffee.
flute. Like a flute.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. I don't do these things.
A flute of coffee.
A flute of coffee.
Flutes
Yes.
of coffee.
Yes. Everything from a light roast all the way through an espresso.
Right? Because
Nice.
you're always, I never want to buy a whole cup because I'm like, what if I don't like it?
Right?
That's a great idea.
So here we go. If you own a coffee shop bobbing for cookies, Thomas is really loving this.
I know.
Like-
we really
And
need to bring
milk.
him in on this.
Right?
Yeah.
Seriously, if you own a coffee shop, like Summer Moon or one of the small why do you not have a flight of coffees?
Right? I would love to
Flight
taste.
of coffees.
They're
It's
called flights. I'm so sorry. Yes, it's
it a
not
flute or
flutes.
flight?
No, it's a flight. It's
You're
a
right.
flight of coffee. Because when you go to a pub, you can get a flight of beers, which is 5 beers for you to taste.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
called a flight of coffees, and that way you can taste everything from the light roast to the dark roast and go, oh, I like this one.
Right.
Right? Oh, that's a great idea.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I need to trademark that.
You do. I'm in my element here. Thomas, you're cracking me up, brother.
And you could get you could probably get this amusement park sponsored by Chips Ahoy, Nabisco. You get
Seattle's best coffee.
maybe Starbucks or
You
some
think
other smaller.
Starbucks?
Well, maybe some other smaller coffee roasters out there that
They get to sponsor their own table. They sponsor their ride. Yes, thank you. They can
Yes.
sponsor a ride, and at that ride, they get to have their stand. So this one is Starbucks. This one's Seattle's best. This one's a local coffee shop.
And then you can have a flight of all the different brands.
Oh,
man. You imagine all the caffeinated guests running through from ride to ride.
So the question is this amusement park for the adults or the kids?
This is feeling more like that, because if I had kids running around all caffeinated and sugared up on cookies, man.
I'm sure my daughter would be like, I want a flight of coffee.
Coffee. Like we would actually have to like put a limit on it. Like
Right.
you have to be like 21 and up.
wristband.
A wristband, right?
Punch card.
Dude. Like you
I'm
gotta
sorry,
do
sir, you've exceeded your limit. You're going to have to go home.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Fine.
How dare you take my coffee away from me?
Sir, your pupils are looking a little dilated. We're going to have to...
This be a whole new level of like DUI or DWIs. What's wrong with you? I've had too much coffee.
DWC.
DWC.
Driving while caffeinated.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is the only. I mean,
Where did this come from? How did this happen?
My abs are starting to hurt.
have a bounce house that looked like have a bounce house that looked like giant coffee cups and giant Oreos
Or a cookie jar.
or a cookie jar.
That's brilliant stuff.
A cookie jar bounce house.
Oh my gosh.
Lindsay, there is no limit to the direction you want to take this brand.
This is
like
impressive.
you have.
Dustin, get ready.
I got things to do, apparently.
Yes.
I need you to get done with that home project
Right?
sooner over than later so you can start on this.
We can start it in your backyard. We got to start somewhere.
No, that's a huge liability.
So it's funny, a couple episodes back, we were talking about no soggy cookies.
Oh, yes.
Right, Amber? I agree. Oh, by the way, good morning, Amber. Did you hop in the comments earlier? No. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't miss my saying hi to my wife because I didn't want to be in trouble.
Yes.
So good morning, sweet wife. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's so much fun. And you have to think, like, if you had thought about this 10, 20 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be something that you would actually be able to create? For me, no. I was not mentally stable enough to do something like this.
You feel you're stable enough to create a coffee cookies amusement park now?
Oh, absolutely.
Depends on how much coffee
Right.
he's had.
Here's why.
I think creating a coffee cookies amusement park necessitates a little bit of instability to do that. So
No. Here's why. Before I would try to do it all myself. Now I understand the power of delegation.
now you understand the power of Lindsay.
There we go.
Thank you, Gary.
Oh my goodness, that's greatness. Okay, so Gary, we're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot.
That's a good pivot.
We
That's
really
right.
need that sound
That's a
bite.
powerful
Really
word.
need that sound. We need that sound, and it's funny because all the young people are like, "What is Friends?"
Oh my goodness. You just need to drop in that YouTube clip of the pivot.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes. Right. So you showed up a little bit early today.
I did.
A lot early today,
Yes.
almost like an hour early today, and we had a great conversation about some things that are going on in your life.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you actually just mentioned is you've actually people have been booking you to come speak, and you landed a deal recently.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Well, it's great. So so we'll kind of back up a little bit. I have an occupation, have a vocation. And one of my old mentors.
Hold on.
Yes.
Define that.
Yes.
I know, you just use really big words.
Right?
Yeah.
Big words.
Like almost as big as super fantastic.
It's pretty good. I like my
I know.
SAT words. I'm not super smart, but I like a few SAT words here and there. So I had an old mentor, coach, if you will, and he shared with me two things, which really kind of resonated with me to kind of help me kind of place where I'm at. So everyone, you may have an occupation and a vocation.
Okay.
Occupation is what you do 9 to 5. That's your job.
Okay.
Right? Your vocation is what you love to do. That's your passion. Now, a lot of us are not able to
Have them be one and the same.
one and the same. So a lot of us work our 9 to 5 job, and then on the side, we work our vocation, our passion, what we love, what
Okay.
we really are. That's our, we feel like our calling. But like you said, Lindsay, once those two converge, you're doing what you love for a living.
Right.
And that is so difficult for a lot of people because a lot of us just kind of fall into careers, and in my world, multifamily industry, if you ask 100 people, 99 of them, or probably 90 of them will say, I accidentally got into this career. They love it. They get into it. It's really great. But I believe that's a lot of what people do is they accidentally fall into their careers. They just kind of go through the flow of it. And that's where they end up, and nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot of people out there that have a vocation, something that they're passionate about, and they haven't discovered it, they haven't explored it. But when you do, you start working on that vocation outside of your occupation, your 9-to-5 job, and that vocation becomes like, this is me. I'm exploring, I'm identifying, I'm investigating, I'm initiating a little bit of me, my heart, my passion. And once those two can become one, man, you are doing what you love for a living, and you would do it for free essentially because that's who you are. That's your gifting. That's your skills. And so right now, I'm just I know, long way around your question, but my vocation has become public speaking. And I absolutely love it. And I've written a couple of books. And so recently I've been able to go out and speak at a conference. I've spoken for a couple of companies. And so I just speak on what I wrote my book on. And it's stuff I'm very passionate about.
And these are his books.
Thank you.
These are his books. I got 2 of them.
And you can find them on Amazon.
And they're signed.
Yes. So the Super Fantastic Principles, Super Fantastic Process, they're available on Amazon. But I go and speak on those topics that are in the book because I'm so passionate about those. And they've become kind of like who I am, and I love doing those things. And so, yes, I've been to Virginia. I've been down to this small little place called Round Top, Texas.
Where is that?
It's somewhere in between Houston and Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a small little place. It was a cool little area called the Glamp Inn, where I know I'm going on a tangent, but it's this. They have all these old trailers, like oh my gosh, like streamlined trailers.
Yeah.
But they're inside a warehouse. And so you sleep inside these trailers inside this warehouse. And it's like these events happen in there. And so I went down there and I spoke on leadership, transformational leadership. I was in Virginia. I was speaking on transformational leadership and racing to your goals. So now my vocation, I get to do this, and it's so exciting. I get to speak in front of groups of people and train people and encourage people, inspire people, and I get paid for it.
There you go.
It's unbelievable, and it's just one of the most amazing things. So yeah, it's just, and I've got a couple other opportunities in the works. So we'll see where it goes. It's amazing.
So how do you transition from, or how do you discover your vocation, right? Because a lot of people will get into an occupation, and they'll get stuck.
Yes.
How did you specifically, how did you realize that this was a vocation, this is something you enjoy, this is something you get excited about? Where did that happen?
It was by accident. I'll be very honest with you. So I'll tell you a quick story. Again, my mentor coach, Mike Rodriguez, passed away recently, left an incredible legacy of just an incredible person. But I met him on LinkedIn, found him, started following him, found out that he was doing a presentation here in Frisco. I was like, I have to go see this guy. And so like a good nerd, I got there early. And I was able to connect with him and start chatting with him before his presentation. And off the cuff, I said, hey, I'd love to write a book through our conversation. Sat in the presentation. Amazing Mike Rodriguez. He's got tons of books out there, best-selling author as well. And like a couple of weeks later, he calls me up and says, hey, Gary, I remember you said you wanted to write a book. I was like, yeah.
Wow, that like really stuck.
I was like, you remembered that? He's like, yeah. He said, I'm putting a book together. I've got some co-authors that we're lining up. Do you want to join it? So here in that moment, I had a decision to make, yes or no. That was my two responses I could have said to him. Now, if I said no, I knew that would have been a missed opportunity, that I might have regretted that forever. That was a divine, I can't think of the word, divine inspiration that one, I accidentally found Mike Rodriguez online. Two, that I
It was an alignment.
It was a divine alignment. And
Yeah.
so, too, I found that he was doing a presentation in Frisco. I went to it. I talked to him. And then he connected with me to said, hey, do you want to do this with me?
And like you said one phrase, oh, I'd love to write a book. Like, was there more on that conversation, or was that just like a phrase in passing? And he's like, hey,
Boom.
I need to get connected with this guy again.
And that's the thing is, and it was all about, what do you want to do? What do you gift? And this all stems from asking questions about yourself. And it also stems from alignments. And I know Nick and Lindsay, you guys talk a lot about alignments on this show and how valuable and how important they are. And having those alignments in your life can help you uncover things that you didn't know about yourself because they challenge you, they inspire you, and they'll ask you questions. Alignments are great as well as having a coach or a mentor. And I've had all of those in my life, different, parts of the journey of my life. But knowing when those people ask you the questions, that helps you uncover a little bit more about what you might be or what might be in your heart to do. And so coaches and alignments, mentors are amazing to ask you those questions. But there's tools out there like the DISC assessment, the Myers-Briggs assessments. There's so many different tools out there. And you take these assessments and that starts uncovering who you are, that you may not, you kind of know who you are, but this kind of puts a word to it. I don't want to call it a label, but it puts a thought.
It's definition.
It's a definition of like who you are, who you could be
at that specific point in time, because who you are changes based on your experiences that you grow through.
Yes.
As time goes on. So what you start at, the point you start at, and who you are when you start doesn't mean that you're going to end up that way.
Well, I always think there's a foundation to who you are, and you may mature in that foundation, but you will always be of that foundation, and you mature in it. And so I've taken all these assessments, and then I connected with the right alignments, and it was just a matter of saying yes to a simple question. Do you want to write a book with me? I said yes to it. He challenged me. He poked me. He prodded me. He pushed me. I was able to co-author a book with Mike Rodriguez and several other amazing authors, including one, Velma Knowles, who's actually my executive coach right now. And so I co-authored with this book. It became a bestseller, #1 new release. I was a part of that. And from that, I was like, what else can I do? What's next? And with my alignments, with my coaching, Mike Rodriguez, he pushed me a little bit. He pushed me a little bit, hurt my feelings a couple of times, but I needed that. And I got it. I wrote my first solo book, Super Fantastic Principles. It did pretty well. It hit number 28 on Amazon.
This one.
Yeah.
Orange one.
So that one's full of stories. I've interviewed a lot of people for that book. So there's great stories about real people, including one guy from Taco Bell here in Frisco.
Oh, love that story.
It's such a great story.
That's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah. And that one hit number 28. And I was like, can I do more? Is there more in me? Could I do better? And so I wrote the next one, Super Fantastic Process.
The blue one.
That one essentially is, I've been, in a career for 20 plus years, and I've learned a lot. I've had some amazing leaders. I took all of that, put it in a book. That one hit #1 new release, bestseller on Amazon. And so it was just this journey of like, what can I do next? What can I do next? And the book just created an opening to go speak because I had such passion for those topics.
This reminds me of a great song.
Are you going to sing
Great
it, rap
song.
it? Can you rap it?
Yeah. I could, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna read it because
I could, but I'm just...
if you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or would you let it slip away?
Yes.
That's such a great song.
I was hoping
Anybody
she would
know?
rap that.
He doesn't rap that part. He's talking in that part.
It was kind of a rap. Little
No.
Skittles.
Anyway.
I'm gonna
Anyway.
get you a name badge that says Little Skittles for your birthday. Oh my goodness, that was great. So here we go. The biggest takeaway that I heard from all of that. Okay.
No, sorry, that was a lot of talking.
No.
But
But
It's good, though.
No. But it was needed. It was needed. You needed to share that story. That story is needed to be shared more often because But the biggest takeaway I took for that was you got in the room.
Yes.
You got in the room. None of that would have happened. You could have connected with him on LinkedIn, and it would have stopped there.
Yep.
Until you got in that room, that door was not able to be opened.
No.
Because you got in the room, the door was able to be opened,
Yep.
and those conversations were able to be had, and then the defining moment of co-authoring, right? But it's funny because you get so many people now, and I talk about this a lot. You have to get out.
Yes.
You have to get into the room with other people. You have to figure out the people that you want to resonate with. You found a gentleman who you're like, I want to go that direction.
Yes.
And then you got in the room with him. And I love I love the second part of that was you didn't get there on time. You didn't get there late.
No.
You got there early. You got there early. And because you had the discipline to get there early, you got to have one-on-one time with him.
That was probably the most critical point. Because had I not gotten there early, had I not been intentional to go up to him and start talking to him, and in the conversation just share a little bit about one of my goals, one of my thoughts, this would never have happened.
Correct.
And I do believe it was divine intervention to kind of these steps. But I had to play my part. I had to have faith and to connect, to be there in the room, like you said, and then connect with him and share.
So it's so funny. You say that that's being in the room is what you took away from that. My takeaway from what he shared is he said yes.
Yes.
It's not just saying yes to writing that book. It was saying yes to connecting. It was saying yes to going to this event. It was saying yes to getting there early. Like all of those are, yes, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make this happen. It's saying yes will lead to the next yes.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. So Matt actually says in the comments, you do need the door to be open to get into the room, right? Like he's talking about that. That's great. Thomas, break the comfort zone. So if for the audience that has been watching, what is your number one takeaway from that story? And I want you to share that in the comments. And I know we're about to end the show, so we will definitely be going back and reading those and replying to them. But what is your number one takeaway from the second part of the show? If
the amusement park part.
if you heard the amusement part, the amusement park part, if you're here for the first part of the show, then ooh, Angelina, like that. You took the leap of faith.
Yes.
You did that. That's good. If you're here for the first part of the show, what would you name the ride that you would want in that amusement park?
Nice.
Right? Like, I'm just thinking, so many ideas going through my head right now, and I'm gonna have to turn it all off here. I'm so sad. So sad. So hey, thank you for being here early, spending time with us, and for just giving some of your greatness to us in the audience. It means a lot to me personally, and I think it means a lot to you too, right,
It does,
Lindsay?
yes.
Good. Okay,
Aw.
good. Just making sure it means
Oh
a
my
lot to
gosh.
Lindsay too.
I'll pay you guys later. Thank you.
So thank you guys for joining us this morning. It's Wednesday, okay? You should be working on your big three. You should be definitely on number 2 or finishing up number 2. Why? Because tomorrow I need you to crush number 3, because when Friday gets here, I'm going to tell you to leave early. I'm going to tell you to leave early. That way you go invest some time into yourself, invest some time in maybe your family, okay? Or maybe you ready for this? Maybe get yourself an executive coach, or maybe go have coffee with someone who can pour into you a little bit. All right, but take some time and invest into yourself.
And say yes.
And say yes. Say yes. I love that. So thank you guys for joining us. Gary, thank you for joining us again on this show. We love you guys in the audience. I'm looking The cookie coaster. Oh my goodness.
Love it.
Okay. I cannot wait to read all these comments. And we'll definitely be replying back to you. Know that we love you. Know that we pray over y'all. We pray positive and blessings over y'all. And the reason why we do that is I don't know who you have praying for you. And so we want to be that for you. Okay. Just know that you have someone. And today you had 3 people praying positive over your life. So hopefully that brings you just a little bit of greatness, a little bit of positive into your world, but you need to bring the positive into your world. You need to choose to bring positive into your world, okay? If you're a little bit tired, go get some coffee. If you're feeling a little drowsy, go eat a cookie, okay? Get some sugar, get some caffeine, but be that positive. Yes, I know that's completely healthy. Everything I told you is for your health.
Absolutely.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you. And today, want you to
Rise up.
and crush it.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.